Welcome to Saturday Racing. It's July 6th, 2019, and we have winds out of the southeast at about 12 to 14 miles an hour with the Harbor 20 class out, and there's a Finn racing with us, 45 seconds to go. We favored the other end of the line a little bit to reduce congestion down at this end. And, it looks like Filbert here, the sail number one got ran up above the line, so they're over the line. I need you to get back so I can sight the line. And 20 seconds. Okay, and so we got 15 seconds to go. Filbert's over and Violet's over. 10 seconds. There we go. And 5 seconds. You're gonna dip the H. 2, 1, go. All right, we're gonna let Filbert go. They're right on the edge, but we're gonna let them. Oh, clear! And Filbert probably had the best start. They were on the line going fast. Now, look at Violet sneaking in there on port. Now, you have no rights on port, so if you're gonna get in a collision with a starboard tacker, you must stay clear. All right, now, Paul, the blue boat, is in the wind shadow of Filbert, so they really should tack away and get into a clean lane of air. Because when you're in disturbed wind like that, you can't point as high and you might lose 2 boat lengths a minute in these wind conditions in a Harbor 20. Now, they did tack over. They're on port tack now. That was a good move. And they just need to get all their weight on the high side. You see there's one person down working the jib that's down low. And in these heavy winds, you want to keep the boat flat. And you see how the green boat here, Peanut, is keeping the boat relatively flat. That's fast. Ooh, the wind's picking up a little bit. And Filbert is in the lead right now. And they're on port tack out there. Looking good. Now, in these winds, you can generally trim your sails a bit tighter than in light winds. All right, so Filbert got a little bit of a knock, and Peanut gained on that a little bit. So Peanut is first in their class around the mark. There's the weather mark right there. And come the rest of the boats. We're having a little problem down there with Barbie. And these boats will go around the weather mark and then to an offset mark, which is over here, that yellow mark, and then head dead downwind to the finish. This is a simple windward leeward with an offset mark. And there goes Dave Martin steering the waves in his fin. Nice. Fast. And there's Peanut. Eduardo's got that boat dialed in. And here comes Filbert and Violet. And here comes Paul. Peanut won. Good job. Followed by Filbert, then Violet, then Paul, then Barbie. Here we are at the start of race number 2. And the wind has increased just a little bit. It's about 14, which was not in the forecast. And normally we'd reef, but we have some newbies here that aren't going to be able to figure that out. So we're going to just keep running the races here. All right, 35 seconds to go. And the windward boats like this, the blue boat, needs to be careful because they must give way to the leeward boats. That's called barging. And there's 12 seconds. There's one boat way over there. Barbie's way over there. Too far away, really. And it's 3 seconds. 2, 1. Filbert! Over! Filbert, over! All right, so Peanut got the best start. They are ahead, and so Barbie got waylaid. They were just way far away. Maybe they were out of sequence, and so it's 30 seconds after the start that they're finally starting. But Peanut's winning this race. Filbert didn't realize they were over the line. You know, the tactician should always be sighting the line for the helmsman, because the helmsman can't do it all, and should be advising the helmsman whether they're over or not. So here we go. All right, so now the blue boat has their weight in the right place, and it looks like they're doing a good job of keeping that boat moving. So Filbert needs to get their main in a little bit, because you see how they're falling to leeward of the blue boat. They're not pointing as well. And Milo's doing a good job of keeping it in the groove. All right, so here we are up front with the leaders, and the blue boat has finally gotten hooked in there. They probably need to get their jib in a little more. And Filbert, the number one who's tacking, they just got, they haven't kept their main in tight enough, so they haven't been pointing as well, so they fell down into the wind shadow of the other boat, so they had to tack away. All right, now speed up, get out of the fin's way, okay? All right, so we're getting close to the starboard tack ley line, and the blue boat is probably hesitating to tack because they probably know the red boat is going to tack right on them and put them in their wind shadow, so they'll probably overlay just a little bit. And there goes the blue boat. Now, you don't want to be in the wind shadow of the red boat. So if I was the blue boat, looking at the fin, they can probably dive down and get a safe leeward and get, but they didn't dive down in time. So see, there's the fin, and he's laying the mark, so he's on the ley line. And there's Filbert, who's not too far out of the ball game. Now, the best thing the blue boat could do would be to work up, pinch up just a little bit, and get out of the wind shadow of the red boat. When I say red, I mean red sailboat. See how they're falling back because they're in the wind shadow? See, if they just get up on the red boat's hip, they'll have a clear lane of air, because wind shadows in these velocity of winds don't extend as far back as in lighter winds. So you can actually, if they just get up another like 10 feet to windward, they're going to be in a clear lane of air and they won't lose. All right, so Filbert is gonna, on port, is gonna duck these two, which is probably a wise move. So, all right, Violet's gonna go around first, Paul second, Filbert third. We've got to get that jib in. All right. And here comes Peanut. It looks like their outhaul is wrong. You see, the sail is too baggy. They need to get that outhaul tight, 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 because they're overpowered. And you don't need all that power in these winds. And if you can't get it in while the sail's trim, well, you just coordinate easing the sail out while somebody pulls that outhaul out, and then it's easy. And there they go tacking. All right. Here we are at the finish. And Violet has maintained their lead, although Paul, the blue boat, has gained on them. In these winds, you can heel the boat to windward and wing the jib and go faster. All right. Violet's first, Paul's second, followed by Filbert, otherwise known as Filbert, and then Peanut, and then Barbie. All right, we're gonna get started in the next set of races as soon as we can to avoid any rain. Here we are at the start of race number 3. And the wind has abated a little bit. It's down to about 11. And we have 45 seconds to go. I like how Barbie is closer to the starting area this time. You know, when you sail way off into the sunset, it's really hard to get here on time. The fin must be out of sequence because they're way far away. 25 seconds. And we're developing a little traffic jam over here. I think everybody thinks that the boat end is a little favored because last race, the Harbor 20 that started nearest the boat did real well. All right, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All clear. And Barbie probably got the best start. It looks to me like the yellow end here, the boat end, the committee boat end, is favored. And so Barbie is winning because if any of the boats to leeward of them tack, they'd have to duck Barbie because of the port starboard rule. Now they're tacking over. They were having trouble pointing there, I think, because Peanut was really in the groove and was pinching up. So Barbie has to duck below that starboard tacker, that fin. Okay, you better get out of their way. Go. And Paul's looking good. They've got a nice clean lane of air to work in. All right, so there's Paul. Looks like they're up there near Peanut. Ooh, it's kind of rocky out here. And here we go. So we've had a very brisk sailing day so far. And Filbert's not quite pointing as high as Violet, so that you see they're falling to leeward a bit, getting in their wind shadow, which you need to avoid. in these types of winds. All right, well, Violet's having some problems there, and it stems from the fact that they didn't ease their main when they got hit with a puff. So they kind of stalled out, luffed up, and Paul pulled ahead a little bit. And Peanut is covering them really well. All right, there goes the Finn first round, followed by Peanut, then Paul. And Filbert's going to duck Violet. That was probably a smart move. All right, looks like Filbert's doing a penalty turn. We had a little altercation at the mark. All right, so go. Will the crew on Peanut please come forward? Face the camera. Face the camera. Good job. Excellent job re-rigging that boat after we had a little problem. Yes, sir. Face the camera now. They're the winners for Saturday.